let's watch this first.
Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures and hung out with the artsy crowd. I even picked up a few things along the way. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets. And unforgettable eats. A celebration of flavor in every bite. And an epic new party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
Okay, so that's a quick preview of Metro Manila or the National Capital Region. Okay, balik po tayo dito sa ating slides. Okay, so the National Capital Region, also known as the Metropolitan Manila, is, as we all know, is the capital region of the Philippines, considered as the center of culture, economy, education, and government, okay, of our country. So it's located just on the southwestern portion of Luzon, just directly below central Luzon. Okay, so the region lies along the flat plains of the Pasig River and Laguna Libay. Okay, its territory extends eastward to Marikina Valley and the edge of Rizal Province. Okay, so ayun nga, also known as the Metropolitan Manila, but commonly referred as just Manila. Kaya lang, sometimes it causes confusion. Okay, since the capital or capital city is the city of Manila. However, yun nga, locals refer to Metro Manila as just Manila. Okay, so some of the few accolades of the region is that Metro Manila is listed as one of the best shopping destinations in Asia. We cannot deny the fact na dami rin na kasi nating malls within Metro. Okay, so Metro Manila also serves as the main gateway to national destinations, so making it an important hub for the tourism industry of the country. However, here's the thing, no? Metro Manila is often overlooked and skipped as tourism destination, and it is just considered as merely a transit point, okay, before going to other parts of the Philippines. No? However, yun nga, despite Manila is one of the Southeast Asia's best capital cities for sightseeing, for culture, no, Manila continuously get a bad rap like crime, pollution, poverty, corruption, overpopulation, and of course the horrendous traffic. Okay, these are all associated with the city, but it's kind of, I said it's unfair because it paints an unbalanced photo or unbalanced representation of Metro Manila. Sure thing, there are faults in the metro. There are backlogs in the metro, but of course, the booming economy in the metro, the buzz made by new waves of restaurants, nightlife, cafes, gallerias. Of course, Metro Manila has its vitality and it has its own confidence as well. Okay? Yeah, so Manila or Metro Manila or the National Capital Region is bounded by, of course, Central Luzon in the north, okay, with a part of the Sierra Madre Mountain Range in the east, at the Marikina, then the Laguna de Bay in the south, the Manila Bay as well, and it gives a great canvas for the famed sunsets of Metro Manila. Okay, so just a quick pretest, okay, just to gauge what we know about Metro Manila. Yan, let me launch on your screen ang ating pretest. There you go. That is just a 5-question pretest. Kindly answer. Okay, while you're answering, let me just fix Sige, 16, 17. Okay, just keep your answers coming. Sige po. Keep your answers coming. Yan din, may message sa ating chat box. Okay, sige lang po. Just keep your answers coming. Okay, okay na po. Let me end our call. Okay, that's... sige, may pumapasok pang sagot. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me show you the results. Ayan yung lumabas. Okay, let me end it again. It doesn't work on my end. There you go. Okay, so let me just show you the result. Now, question number 1, how many cities are there in NCR? Okay, it's 16. Siguro yung mga sumagot ng 17 na confused. Okay, kasi there's one municipality in Metro Manila. Okay, we'll see that later. Okay, question number 2. One of the Philippines' 4 Baroque churches registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's the San Agustin Church. Okay, question number 3. Ayaw bumaba. Okay, this museum presents the rich biodiversity of the country, including Lolong's skeleton, which is the world's largest crocodile and placed in captivity. So it's actually the National Museum of Natural History. Okay, let's have question number 4. It's recognized as the first cultural interactive museum that showcases different cultures and tribes in the Philippines through displays and activities that catch the essence of Filipino society as a whole. So the keyword here is the interactive. Okay, so it's Lakbay Museo, it's the one located in Conrad. Now, the largest mall in the Philippines, majority answered Mall of Asia. It was the largest mall in the Philippines before renovations took place in SM City North EDSA. Okay, so ang Mall of Asia ay pang-apat na lang. Yeah, I think, pang-apat. Topping the list is SM City North EDSA, then SM Mega Mall, SM Seaside in Cebu, and then Mall of Asia. Okay. Tanggalin ko na po itong result ng ating pre-test. Okay. Now, let me give you a reasons or some reasons why do we need to visit Metro Manila. Na hindi lang siya transit point or just a plain na dadaanan lang kapag may pupuntahan ibang region sa Pilipinas. Number one, we have a great Spanish heritage in Intramuros, of course. No, as Asia's former Spanish colony, so we offer intriguing point of difference to our neighbors. So Intramuros back then was the nucleus of life during the Spanish time in Manila, and this is actually the best place for us to soak up history of the Philippines. So it was destroyed during World War II, but it has been faithfully restored. It provides a great escape also from the chaos, hustle, and bustle of Metro Manila. So here in Intramuros, you can enjoy a more laid-back atmosphere. You can stroll on the residential streets and just wonder on colonial architecture. Okay, of course, the centerpiece of Intramuros is the Fort Santiago. Okay, what else? World-class museum. Okay, so a year ago, so it was launched yung National Museum Complex of the Philippines. Okay, Manila has a number of must-visit museums as well. It has different themes from pre-Hispanic artifacts to the culture of the Filipino people, mga neoclassical buildings, and other exquisite pieces from across the Philippines. Okay, if you want a more offbeat attraction, there's the museum in Marikina where you can see the collection of shoes of the former First Lady Imelda Marcos. Okay, what else? Walking and cycling tours. Minsan mapapaisip ka din sa init, sa chaos, sa traffic, sa Metro Manila. Is it really advisable to have walking and cycling tours within the metro? Okay, let's watch this one.
There's always a sense of fulfillment in having the opportunity to help people in need, let alone to help an entire nation. My name is Brian Benitez McClelland. You may have seen me riding around Manila on one of those bamboo bikes. Exploration and sustainable living have always been two big parts of who I am. Even when I lived back in the States, I've always had a strong affinity for mindful living, and I've always strived to be conscious about the actions I take and the impact that they have towards the environment, especially while traveling. And being here in my home country just really affirms all of that. Manila has this never-ending cycle of reinventing itself. These are the foundations of my city, strong, resilient, withstanding the test of time. Every warm hello and smile are proof that these good things exist. When people think about the Philippines, they see it as an escape. When I think about the Philippines, I see an opportunity to do great things. When I think about the Philippines, I see a way forward. I see home. I see why I have to stay. So let me invite you to this place I call my home. To a place where you can stroll all day long until the sun winds down. To a fortress that withstood the test of time. To a place where art is as big as life. To a place where the past is constantly colliding with the present. Come get a piece of the history and chase your own adventure here in Manila.
All right. Yeah. So this is a great way also to get some local insights, okay, about our history, about Manila. So this type of theatrical tours, as they say. So it combines history, comedy, and healthy dose of cynicism while exploring the greater part of Metro Manila. Okay. Another reason to visit Manila, art galleries. So, art lovers will adore the beautiful galleries in Manila, which exhibit everything from Filipino masters to modern art. Okay. Next, Chinatown and unusual cemeteries. Okay. Reputedly, Manila is home to the oldest Chinatown in the world, and that is Binondo. It's also a great place to soak up and or experience an old Manila. Okay. Streets are decorated with a lot of Chinese lanterns. There are shops selling mooncakes, Chinese medicine, mga ano pa, Buddhist paraphernalia, and of course, mga Chinese. Okay, then just north of Binondo, there's the Chinese cemetery. So this is one of the most intriguing sites. Mapapisip ka din minsan, what's in a cemetery? What's the beauty in a cemetery for it to be visited? Okay, there is something to the Manila Chinese Cemetery that it's really worth the visit, and we will see to it later. And if you're not enough, if Chinese cemetery is not enough, then you can see a different ambience in North Cemetery. There's also libingan ng mga bayani, the Manila American Cemetery, which also give stunning view or sight. Of course, food. Metro Manila, as a melting pot of culture, offers different restaurants that offers varied Filipino dishes. No? While Filipino cuisine hasn't really taken the world by storm compared to Chinese, Italian counterpart, the Japanese counterpart. Now, there are plenty of places as well in Manila to eat extremely well. No? Both quality, atmosphere, from restaurants with historic colonial houses, okay, or restaurants that are offshoot from an original restaurant abroad. So Filipino degustation, okay, is also present in Metro Manila. Of course, who would have missed the nightlife in Metro? No? So this is another reason not to skip Manila, the pumping nightlife. When we go out of the country, isa din naman ito, nightlife is always part of our itinerary. So what makes it different to experience the nightlife in Metro Manila? So there's plenty going here, like fancy rooftop cocktail bars, particularly in Poblacion in Makati or in Tomas Morato. No? Laid-back pubs, as well as live music scene. So there's a lot of bars to see in Metro Manila. So we can see why Manila is fast becoming one of Asia's coolest city in terms of nightlife scene. Of course, the heritage and budget hotels. We have some cheapest hotels in the metro. We have the most expensive hotels in the metro, even hotels that are inspired by Spanish colonialization. Okay, of course, architecture. Just wander around the capital, city of Manila. You will see a lot of architecture from Baroque style, neo-Gothic, neo-classical style of architecture that are good for photo ops. And of course, Metro Manila is a jump-off point for day trips and city breaks. So there are a lot of day tour destinations that are just nearby Manila that you can include if you visit the metro. Okay, so those are just some reasons to visit Manila. So you can share that to some of your friends or some of your clients so that at some point, siguro, once we can travel again, we got to explore also Metro Manila. Okay, with that, Manila was dubbed as the capital of fun. So let me show you, this was one of the tourism ad for Metro Manila that was crafted by the Department of Tourism.
Bright lights, city sights, shopping malls. Bright lights, city sights, shopping malls, little stalls, flip-flops, rock and roll, street smart. Fine art, new and old, bronze, gold, warm, charm, hot and cold. Quick bites, foodie finds, nice smiles, wild style, cheap thrills, sky high, knick-knacks, welcome back. Every corner, fun, fun, fun. Manila, welcome back.
Yeah, so Manila is dubbed as the capital of fun, probably because of those many reasons not to skip Metro Manila. Now let's move on to the administrative divisions of Metro Manila. So, like I said earlier, there are 17 local government units in Metro Manila, 16 are cities, one is the municipality. That is a municipality of Pateros. Okay, so that includes Caloocan, Las Piñas, Makati, Malabon, Mandaluyong, Manila, capital, Marikina, Muntinlupa, Navotas, Parañaque, Pasay, Pasig, of course, Pateros, Quezon City, San Juan, Taguig, and Valenzuela. While it is not a common practice not to group the local government units or the cities in the municipality in Metro Manila, but there's one grouping that we use for statistical purposes. So Metro Manila is divided into four, so probably we can also adopt this grouping to facilitate travel within Metro Manila. So we have the Northern Manila District, and that includes Caloocan, Valenzuela, Malabon, yan, Navotas. So ito yung sa Kamanava yung tawagin. Okay? Then the Eastern Manila District, that includes Quezon City, andyan din ang Marikina, also San Juan, Mandaluyong, and Pasig. Then the Capital District, that includes the city of Manila, and the South Manila District includes the rest of the cities in Metro Manila. That's Makati, Pateros, Pasay, Taguig, Parañaque, Las Piñas, and Muntinlupa. So we don't encounter this grouping commonly, no, but it exists. Okay, so that's the map of Metro Manila. Okay, so let's move forward to the destinations and attractions within the metro. So destinations and attractions within the metro are quite diverse. Okay, actually halos lahat ng tourism portfolio or tourism product na pinupromote ng Philippines can be seen in Metro Manila. Of course, except for beach tourism or ecotourism, but for the most part of it, makikita na natin sa Metro Manila. Okay? Of course, the gem of Metro Manila tourism is Intramuros. Let's watch this one. Okay, all right. So that's Intramuros. Yan. Nakakamiss na din talaga magbiyahe, lalo na pagka nakakakita ng mga nakakapanood ng mga ganyang videos. Anyway, okay, so again, Intramuros is also known as the walled city. Yeah, walled. So it's the oldest district and the historic core of Manila. So if you're history buff, kahit nga hindi ka history buff, you can really appreciate Intramuros. There is a pack of trips or tours that can show you interesting attractions within Intramuros. So this iconic Manila landmark is basically a walled area within the modern city. It was before the seat of government and political power when the Philippines was still under the Spanish rule. Okay? Yan. Here you can actually do the bump bike. I've showed earlier yung bisikleta with the bamboo bike. So you can actually do bump bike tours here in Intramuros. Kung ayaw naman, pwedeng mag-ride ng kalesa or those horse-drawn carriage. Okay, moving on. Yan. Fort Santiago, the crown jewel or the gem inside the Intramuros. Okay, so this is a 16th century citadel. It's a national landmark as well and considered as a shrine to the hard-won freedom of the Philippines. Okay, so yon. It has been the cornerstone of our history. Okay, dito nakita yung defeat ni Raja Sulaiman by the Spaniards. Nakita din dito yung invasion ng mga Chinese led by Limahong. Okay, and nakikitness din dito sa Intramuros the first raising of United States flag that declared the beginning of American rule. So then, that Fort Santiago is actually a solid stone structure, Italian in Spanish ang kanyang architectural style. Okay, the fort also served as prison for our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, before siya ma-execute noong 1896. Okay, so another notable site inside Intramuros is the Plaza de Roma. Okay, so Plaza de Roma is considered to be the Plaza Mayor or the main plaza of the city in the olden times. So it's located strategically on a spot surrounded by the most prominent landmarks on Intramuros. So when you're in Plaza de Roma, okay, if you turn around, lahat ng side niya may prominent landmark. So makikita on the right, yung Ayuntamiento or yung office na ngayon ng Bureau of Treasury. Okay, nandoon din ang Palacio del Gobernador, which houses the Commission on Election nowadays. And behind the Plaza Mayor is the Manila Cathedral. Okay, yan. So it was the center or the capital city of Spain's possession during the early days. Okay, it was also the center for various events in the city in the early days, even bullfights, cockfights, okay, ginaganap dito noon. Okay, now on the 1820s, so they added a monument, okay, in the middle of the plaza that's dedicated. Nakikita pa rin siya ngayon, yung dedicated to the Spanish monarch Charles IV was being honored for his role to bring smallpox vaccine in the country in the early days. Okay, so that's Plaza de Roma. Okay, another notable structure or site inside Intramuros is Casa Manila. Okay, so it's located just opposite the San Agustin Church. So this is a replica of a Spanish colonial mansion of the late 19th century Manila. So it's filled with furnishings of Philippine, Chinese, and European origin. So it's a grand house. This is similar to the houses of rich Spaniards and the Filipino ilustrados during the early times. So Casa Manila was built through Imelda Marcos to showcase architecture, interior designs of Spanish houses. Okay. Next is the Baluarte de San Diego. Okay. So Baluarte de San Diego was constructed out of a circular tower that was originally meant to protect Metro Manila, okay, from the enemies during the Spanish occupation. Okay. It was constructed as part of the whole fortifications of the old city of Intramuros. So you can see here 3 large rings of stone connected by crossways, okay, which they thought to have been the base of the tower but now destroyed. Okay, so this particular part is surrounded by beautiful gardens, well landscaped pathways, lush plants, mga fountains, mga pergolas, no? So kaya madalas din dito may mga ginaganap na kasal or parties or other special occasions. Okay, next, still in Intramuros is the Bahay Chinoy. Okay, so this building, okay, houses the Kaisa Angelo King Heritage Center. So this is a museum. It documents the history, the lives, the contributions of the ethnic Chinese in the Philippines. So it also promotes understanding between the Chinese and Filipino communities. So may mga diorama sa loob. Okay, makikita dito yung mga Chinese, yung mga mestizo. Ito yung mga mix na Spanish, Filipino, mestizo kung tawagin. Also the parian, okay, may mga old coins, mga porcelains, collection of photos, and the like. Okay, so that's Bahay Chinoy. Moving on, the Palacio del Gobernador, another recognized or notable spot in Intramuros. So nowadays or today, the building houses IA or Intramuros Administration. So Intramuros Administration is an attached agency of the Department of Tourism, also the Commission on Election. So previously, it housed the Bureau of Treasury, pero nag-relocate na nga sila sa Pagtawid, sa Ayuntamiento. Okay? So the site of the present building, it's actually located ngayon, was the former residence of the Governor General of the Spanish colonial area. However, due to earthquakes in the past, nasira. Okay, kaya nalipat ang residence ng Governor General sa Malacanang Palace. Okay, next. Yan, si Ayuntamiento. Okay, kung makikita nyo yung inset na photo dyan, isa yan sa mga halls na Ayuntamiento. Okay, so in many respects, so Ayuntamiento was the first city hall of Manila. So originally, it was built to serve as the office of the Manila City Council or the Spanish Ayuntamiento. Okay? So, yung nakikita natin ngayon, yung building na yan ngayon na nakikita nyo sa photo, that is a reconstruction already. So that's Ayuntamiento 4.0. Yeah. So pang-apat na reconstruction na niya yan. Okay? Why? Because it went to, it heard a lot of calamities, kasama na dyan yung war. Okay? Kaya they keep on reconstructing the building. Okay? So that's an Ayuntamiento, and those are the top spots that we can see inside the old city of Intramuros. Let's move on to another spot, the Malacanang Palace. Siyempre, alam na natin yan, it's the official residence, the principal workplace of the President of the Philippines. That's located on the San Miguel district of Manila. So you can do here, you can walk on the same halls as our leaders are walking. Okay. Now, when you go on a tour to Malacanang Palace, you can visit there the Presidential Museum and Library. Okay, but it isn't it's highly unlikely na makasalubong nyo doon ang president, but there's so much to do during the visit. Okay, however, we cannot just go there and get inside Malacanang Palace and visit the Malacanang Museum. No, we need to do proper coordination with the office. Okay, another historical spot in Metro Manila is the EDSA Shrine. Kaya lang, most of the time, it's overlooked. Why? Tignan nyo yung background. Okay, madalas, mas nangingibabaw pa yung Robinson's Galleria kaysa sa EDSA Shrine. But again, if you were a history buff and you want to get a hold of the history of the Philippines, Metro Manila, okay, EDSA Shrine is another place to see. So formally or officially, this is the Shrine of Mary Queen of Peace, Our Lady of EDSA. It's located at just the intersection of Ortigas Avenue and EDSA. So this is declared as an important cultural property by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. So, yun nga, it was built to commemorate the People Power Revolution. So actually, dalawang People Power ang commemorate ng EDSA Shrine. Okay? Now let's also see the Jones Bridge. This is the current Jones Bridge out of reconstruction done by the city of Manila. Okay? So let's just have a better view. Okay, so that's Jones Bridge. No, nakaka-Espanya ang vibe ng Jones Bridge. Okay, balik po tayo sa ating slide. There you go. Okay, so Jones Bridge or hinahanap si Yorme. Pampati ha? Okay, so Jones Bridge or officially the William Jones Memorial Bridge. So once in the past, it was described as Manila's queen of bridges. So it has served not only as a connection or a way to cross the Pasig River, but for generations, it has been a cultural icon to the Filipinos. No? So there are four statues that guard the bridge, and collectively they are called the La Madre Filipina or the Philippine Motherland. So, apat yan, kasi apat yung corner ng bridge. However, during World War II, okay, nasira yung isa. No? So, natira yung tatlo. Okay, then they replicated it last year, okay, just to complete the La Madre Filipina. So, each statue actually symbolizes different aspects of nationhood since the Philippines, at the time, it was still transitioning from being colony to an independent nation. Okay, so that's Jones Bridge in Manila. Okay, ito naman tayong Taguig. Okay, let's have libingan ng mga bayani. Ang kulit ng mga nasa chat box. Nasa ilalim daw ng bridge si Yorme. Okay, so sabi natin kanina, Manila is also known for cemeteries, no? Like, start up, kahit unusual to visit cemetery, but these are good spots as well. Okay, so libingan ng mga bayani, yan. So that's Taguig was first known as the Republic Memorial Cemetery. It was actually built by the Philippine government to pay tribute to Filipino men, Filipino women who brought honor to the country. Okay, those people who fought for the sake of freedom and democracy of the country during World War II. Okay? So, yun, yung mga nakalibing doon includes mga Medal of Valor awardee, mga former presidents, former secretaries of national defense, mga chief of staff of AFP, okay, mga government dignitaries, statesmen, national artists, and scientists. Okay, that's libingan ng mga bayan. Okay, let's have another cemetery. Okay, the Manila Chinese Cemetery. Okay. Baka po nandito na si Yorme. Okay, let's watch this. O, diba? That's Manila Chinese cemetery. So, who would have thought that that particular area is a cemetery, no, at first? Okay. There you go. Okay, so again, that's Manila Chinese Cemetery. That's a part of the Old Manila Walk when you do the Old Manila Walk alongside with Intramuros, Binondo, yan, Manila Chinese Cemetery. So the Manila Chinese Cemetery is popularly known as well as the Millionaire's Row or the Little Beverly Hills. So that was built in the late 19th century for the non-Catholic Chinese who were denied burials in Catholic graveyards. Noong panahon kasi ng Spanish colonialization, nagdadamutan sa mga sementeryo. So kapag hindi ka Catholic, hindi ka pwedeng ilibing sa mga Spanish cemeteries back then. Kaya itong mga Chinese na hindi Catholic, nagtayo sila ng sarili nilang cemetery. Now, this cemetery reflects the increasing economic prosperity, the growing presence of the Chinese in the country. So there are a lot of landmarks to see as well inside the Manila Chinese Cemetery. Okay? Isa pang sementeryo. Okay, the Manila American Cemetery. Okay, so yeah, so the Manila American Cemetery and Memorial, it is a prominent plateau. It's quite visible at a distance. Okay, within Taguig. This particular American cemetery contains the largest number of graves of American military dead during the World War II. Okay, so roughly around 17 to 18,000 yung nakalibing doon. Okay? So aside from the cemetery, okay, universities are also great spot to visit in Metro Manila, particularly University of Philippines Diliman and University of Santo Tomas. Now, for the University of Philippines, of course, this is our state university, the National University of the Philippines. So for most travelers, they say when you visit UP Diliman, there's the genuine American University feel here. So this is a place that is great to walk or bike or jog. Okay. So you can do frisbee games on the central field, which is the Sangkong Garden. So, UP also has a decent museum. It's the Vargas Museum. And the other one is University of Santo Tomas. If you want to wander on classic architectural designs, so University of Santo Tomas, or formerly the Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas, also the Catholic University of the Philippines, which is regarded also as the oldest university in the Philippines, also in Asia. Okay, so yun nga, makikita natin dito mga interesting architectural and historical structures that are, of course, found in Metro Manila. Okay, and aside from those, okay, another historical spot is, of course, the Manila Hotel. Why is it historical? Okay, so this is a 5-star hotel just located along the Manila Bay. No? It's the oldest premier hotel in the Philippines, built pa way back early 1900s or 1900s. Okay, this was built actually to rival the Malacanang Palace. So a lot of prominent Americans have stayed here during their rule in the country. Okay, so that's Manila Hotel. Okay, now let's move to the parks in Metro Manila. Despite Manila is bustling city, okay, highly urbanized, okay, there are still remaining portions of Metro Manila where we can see lashes, okay, where there are open space or just merely places where we can do a run, a jog, or a walk. Okay, so those are the parks. And of course, the most prominent one is the Rizal Park. Let's watch this one. Okay, so yeah, that's Rizal Park in Metro Manila. Medyo nostalgic din yung video natin. Okay, balik po tayo sa slide. Here. Yeah, so Rizal Park, which is located in the heart of Manila. So this is a landmark also full of historical significance. So this is homage to our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. So the Rizal Park, the whole of it, features monuments. There are smaller squares, smaller gardens, stadiums, observatories, mga open air concert halls, mga sound and light theaters, a lot of shops, a lot of food kiosks, okay, and many fountains. Okay. Another park is the Paco Park. Yeah, so this is a recreational garden, and this was once the municipal cemetery of Manila. This was built during the Spanish colonial period then. Okay, so what's significant or historically significant with Paco Park is that the Spanish executed the Filipino priest Borza here in Paco Park, or they were buried here rather in Paco Park. However, the grave are unmarked. Okay, like the Gumborza, actually Jose Rizal was also buried here in Paco Park, however, in an unmarked grave between the two walls of the Paco Cemetery. Okay, now, ang chismis, when nung na-discover ng kapatid ni Rizal,